How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Mentor Monday. Mentor Monday is your weekly microdose of encouragement, inspiration, and miracle grow on your potential as a coach. Before we jump in, let's do this. Jump inside the chat and let us know where you're joining us from, what you're excited about, what you feel life and momentum on. We're helping coaches get connected with their ideal client. So it would be very beneficial if you actually stuck a link to your website, to your social media, and tell everybody out there who sees this what kinds of clients you're looking for. Who's your ideal client? What kinds of problems do you help people solve? That sort of thing. I am seeing Google ranking because coaches are connected to our platform. They're actually ranking you based on those particular searches. So if you know that particular search string that people are looking for, throw that in there. We would love for you to do that, get a client out of it. CJ's joining us from LA. It's good to see you, CJ. Again, keep those messages coming in. Let us know where you are joining us from and who your ideal client is. Who is it that you serve? Feel free to post your website, promote yourself, post your website, post your social media, anything that you've got. Or if you're in training, you can just say, hey, I'm in training. I'm getting certified right now. We'll give you a shout out, at least give us a shout out that you are here. This is a great series that we are in right now. We are actually in week 5 of this series called Sustainable Success. And tonight's probably, it might be my favorite night of the entire series. So I'm really excited about that. Again, jump inside. Some of you are not doing it yet. Also, do me another huge favor. Like and share this post. We have a forward mission statement at Life Coach Training Institute. It is proficient coaches. We're helping coaches break into proficiency. We want you to be a better coach. We want to see you get breakthrough for your clients. The other side of our mission is thriving practices, because what good are coaching skills if you have no clients? And so everything that we do is always under that end. Even on a Mentor Monday, we're trying to cover some of these nuanced things that you're going to be running into that coach training school usually doesn't take care of and doesn't even talk about. And that's why we try to talk about these things. Carmen's joining us from North Carolina. Carmen is in training. Good to see you, Carmen. Again, throw your social media. If you have a website, social media, those kinds of things. It is very hot in here tonight. So hopefully I'm not shining too much. I'll just say I'm glistening. I'm glistening. I'm like really excited about tonight. Tonight's going to be a great night. So if you would like, let me see. Who else do I need to say hello to? Dan is joining us from Indiana. Elevation Life Coaching for Men.com. I help men achieve work-life balance. So we're going to see if we can get a gold star out of Dan. Since he's the professional on this, he should probably take one of these weeks, I suppose. But keep those comments coming in, and we will respond to them. Hey, if you want the slides from tonight, here's a way that you get them. Text keyword, see that keyword slides? Just text the word slides to 833-258-7547. You see that right there? Just jump in there and do that. And all of the slides that we cover every week, because they're beautiful and we give you coaching tools every week, it'll save you a lot of trouble on having to take notes, or you can take notes on top of the slides and you can refer back to them. Because again, like I said, every week that we do this, we give you coaching tools and all of those other things. CJ says, I plan on signing up for the 30-day coaching practice fast track to launch my coaching practice. That would be amazing. And we'll talk more about that in a second. So let's go ahead and jump into what we're talking about. I'll give you one more chance to get those slides. Text just the keyword slides to 833-258-7547. Now, we are in week 5 of sustainable success. Yes, we're not talking about clients not having high standards, not achieving big things or whatever. What we are trying to do is we are trying to take this the stress and the imbalance that's out of achieving success, because it's possible to have success that's actually sustainable. And this is what this series is all about. Tonight, particularly, is a special topic for clients who are struggling with guilt that causes work-life imbalance, causes stress, causes pressure, and everything else. And it's all an inward work that's actually taking place there. Now, some of you have probably never really thought about guilt being one of those issues, but I'm going to explain how that comes to bear in just a second. One thing that I will say, not that this is not an issue for everyone, but I would say that this particular issue in coaching seems to be a little bit more on for women. Seem to battle with this one a little bit more, which creates some major life imbalances and everything else. So let's take a look at what we're actually talking about. And here's what we're really saying is that a lot of times for your clients is that guilt is actually what's going to be running the schedule, and guilt is what's actually creating all of the pressure, all of the stress, all of the strain, all of the I've got to get all of these things done. Here's what I mean by that is that work life balance breaks down when guilt is actually driving your client's decision making. Clients feel guilty at work. What do you mean, Paul? Clients feel guilty at work because they feel like they're not doing enough, or they feel while they are at work that work's not getting the best of them, but possibly home or some of the other things that are responsibilities in their life, particularly people, because guilt is a very people oriented kind of thing. And so they're thinking, well, when I'm at work, my wife, my husband, my children, especially, whatever, my mom, my dad, whoever is a significant other, my church, if they are, spiritual and that kind of whatever it is, my community, whatever that thing is, that while they are at work, they feel like that other thing that is a big mission, it's a big passion in their life or whatever, is not getting the best of them. But when they are at home, they also feel guilty because work is biting the bullet in some kind of a way. At least they feel like it. So when they are at work, they feel like they should be at home. When they are at home, they feel like they should be at work. Or clients feel guilty when what? When they actually need rest or if they take rest. Do you know anybody? Or are you one of those people that when you actually take a break, you don't feel good about it? Imagine you have people over. I'll just give you an example. You have people over, you had a little bit of a party, you invited people over, you had a party, maybe it was for Christmas, Easter, whatever. I'm just a party for whatever reason. And then people start trying to chip in and help you clean up or whatever. Is there guilt in that? It's guilt in that because you're like, I wanted people just to come here and have a really good time and not feel the responsibility to jump in and do stuff. And so you actually feel guilty when people are helping you. Or if you are resting while other people are doing, you feel this responsibility and this urge that you have to jump up, that you can't allow things just to sit or to settle. So what these types of clients do when guilt's running the show, you keep saying yes. And what you do is you keep overgiving, not just giving, but overgiving. And you keep going. Guilt has one job. And a lot of you have probably never really thought about guilt. I'm about to say something that's going to give a lot of freedom to everybody in just a second. Even if work-life balance is not your issue, I find that guilt is one of those things that a lot of people struggle with in some form or fashion. And here's what I mean by that. Guilt has one job. Guilt wants to stop what you're about to do. So that's what its job is. Guilt is always in operation to keep you from doing something that you probably want to do. That what it does is that it gives you this preemptive remorse, or it makes you feel like you're doing something wrong. And so what it does is that it shuts you down, because that's what guilt's job is to in your life is to do, is to actually stop a behavior, to stop an action. So if guilt kicks in, then what's going to end up happening is if you feel guilty about resting, then it's going to make you stop resting because it feels bad. It feels like I'm doing something wrong. So I will not allow myself to rest. because that's what guilt's job. Whatever you're about to do or whatever you're doing is to give you remorse and make you not do that thing again. So most people, because guilt feels so bad, they would rather not rest than to feel guilt. They might feel it come on when it stops them from saying no. So it's really dangerous when it stops people from saying no, because there's absolutely some appropriate times that you need to be saying no in your life. If you're not very good at saying no, then you're probably wrestling with guilt, because saying no makes you feel guilt. So you know what you do? You're just kind of like, I know that I want to say no, but I'm struggling to do it. I hear people in those battles, and their friends will even tell them, I think you need to say no, but they'll find that they're unable to do it because they don't want to wrestle with the guilt. Setting boundaries. It's really dangerous when guilt kicks in and prevents you from setting boundaries or choosing what matters most. When I say choosing what matters most, what I'm specifically saying is that we have values, what is important to us, and then other people have values that may not be our values. What happens all the time, though, in relationship, and particularly people who wrestle with this kind of guilt, is that they start living out other people's values. They start living out what other people think is most important, to the detriment of themselves, even when it's not important to them. I want you to think about this, is that if you think that you're going to be rejected, or people aren't going to love you, or they're going to be unhappy with you, because this is a primary driver in this thing, especially for people where connection and significance, love really matters to them. And it's not that it doesn't matter to other people, but if you say no and it equals you feeling less loved, if you say no and you're afraid of being rejected, then you'll probably not say no. And this is how it actually operates in people. There's two types of guilt. Most of you probably have never heard this before. This is going to be super helpful for you. There's two types of guilt. Real guilt. And I say that real guilt is the good kind. When I say it's the good kind, I mean it is clear. It's clear that you know exactly what you did that was wrong, because that's what guilt should do. When you are doing something wrong, when you violate your conscience, and you violate something, you hurt people or whatever, I hope you feel guilt and I hope you feel remorse, because remorse, guilt, its job is to make you stop doing that thing, right? So real guilt is clear. You can point to exactly what happened, and that's why you feel guilt. And might be, I broke an agreement with someone, I hurt someone. I hope you feel that every time that you hurt someone. I went against what I believe is right. So when you have a certain moral code, no matter where you got that from, if you're violating your own morals, I hope you feel guilt and remorse over it. That's a good thing, because it'll keep you from doing those things and making you miserable. But then there's false guilt, and I call this the evil kind. You know what's evil? Is anything that is a lie, anything that limits you in some kind of a way. I call it evil. And here's how guilt can be evil, because it's vague. So when people feel guilt, but they can't hang their hat on it, they can't point to something specific, but it's making them miserable. It's taking their options away. It's making them feel terrible. It's shutting them down. It's making them where they can't say no, where they're giving up their autonomy, they're giving up their freedom, all this other stuff. Then that's a real problem. When I can't point to something and it's vague, it's very ambiguous, that is pointing to false guilt. Second thing, it shows up even when they didn't do anything wrong. So here's the crazy thing. Real guilt makes me feel bad because I've violated something that I think is right or wrong. I didn't do the right thing, or I did the wrong thing. And that keeps me from doing those things again, right? Or if I miss doing the right thing, then I will do the right thing in the future. So here's the interesting thing, is that when even when you don't do anything wrong, you feel like you did something wrong. And so you know what it does? It shuts you down. So saying no, if it feels wrong, it must be wrong, even though it doesn't really add up. It doesn't technically violate any kind of a moral thing, but you know what? You'll pretend like it does. To say no to someone, to not take a day of rest, to set boundaries or whatever. If but if I sat there, and of course you guys should be understanding this, if we're coaching people, they don't know the difference. They just feel it, so they go with the feeling. But they're going to always have imbalance in their life as long as they are living a lie, believing a lie. Because you know what? If it feels the same, it also gets the same result. Because false guilt and real guilt feels exactly the same. Here's the last thing. You feel bad for having limits. And everybody has limits. So if you feel bad, that's human to have limits. And if you feel bad for being human, then you're not really in a healthy place and you're not treating yourself right. What does false guilt sound like? Sounds like if you start listening to your clients and they say something, if I don't do it, I'm selfish. Boy, that sounds very ethical and for some people very spiritual to just be on. And what I hear a lot of people say, and it sounds very spiritual, is to put others first before yourself all the time. That sounds very spiritual and it sounds really good. Except one of the spiritual teachings that I know specifically of Jesus, who says, love your neighbor like you love yourself. You know what that means? Is that if you are not loving yourself, if you have no compassion and mercy for yourself, you have no grace for yourself, then that means that you can't actually love somebody very well. That's what it really means. To love, treat others like you would want to be treated. Well, you need to treat yourself right. You can't help other people if you have no self love and you have no self compassion because you can only give away what you actually possess. And so when you hear these things, this is somebody operating out of false skill. If I rest, I'm lazy. If they're disappointed, then I did something wrong. Listen, last I checked, people can get disappointed like that, and it's because they are selfish, not because we are. If I say no, I'm letting people down. This is a really big one because a lot of people operate in this way because they feel like I'm not going to be as loved. Or you hear this, it sounds like if I set boundaries, if I say no, if I rest, then I'm probably going to be rejected in some kind of way, or I'm not going to be loved as much. See, this is often someone else's expectations that's living in your client's head. So, what do we do about it? Well, here's a coaching tool for you. What do we want to do is that we want to expose false guilt for people and we're trying to get them balanced. Okay. So, here we go. What exactly do you feel guilty about? What do we want to start with? We want to help our clients get into clarity. What are you feeling guilty about? Exactly. Can you be specific? And then once we have that kind of language and we know what we're dealing with, then what are we going to do? We're going to hit them with this question. What did you do wrong? Because this is going to point out if something's real guilt or false guilt really clearly. Why? Because whatever they tell us, if it is not actually violating true morality, their own ethics, their own values, or whatever, then it's not real guilt. That's going to help us a ton. And it's going to give a lot of clarity to your clients. 3, what need is guilt trying to protect? And now they're going to get some ahas out of this. Because what are they going to learn about themselves? Oh, you know what? I'm actually seeking approval. It's actually about my performance. It's about me being good. That's what we're going to uncover with this particular question. Couple more. How else could you meet that need without the guilt tax? See, if you didn't have to pay for it, because that's what guilt's making you do. Guilt's making you pay for it. It wants something. And it doesn't want you to ever have rest. And it never wants you to have peace. That's the way that guilt operates. Guilt gets you to do something because you feel terrible. That's a horrible motivation for things. So is it possible that there's some kind of a need that your client actually has that they're trying to get met And that's not a bad thing. If clients know what their needs are and get it met, but if they're getting it met in a really unhealthy way, then that's not okay. So what are we going to try to help them do is to help them get their needs met without paying for it. Here's a final thought for you. Guilt is often what blocks work-life balance. Real guilt, though, is clear. And you know what it does? It leads to repair. False guilt is pressure that comes from everybody else's expectations. So if you can help clients identify what they are really trying to protect, then they're going to step into freedom, which means balance. And then you know what you've got to do? You help them get permission to choose what they live by. Permissions, everything. And at the end of the day, the clients have to give themselves permission to think differently, operate differently, and live differently. For those of you who are thinking about launching a coaching practice this year, I'm going to highly recommend that you take a look at our 30-day coaching practice fast track. What I've done over the last 12 years is that I've literally helped tens of thousands of coaches not only get trained and certified, but also get their businesses up and going. And what I did in this particular program, because we launched it last year after we had been working with coaches for years, what I wanted to do is to create a streamlined process. If you got certified tomorrow, would you know your first step towards getting a client and getting your business up and going? No? Then this is why you need it. So what we do is that we've streamlined the process so that over the course of 30 days, you know exactly what you need to be doing day by day. But I take all of the guesswork out of it. Like I don't leave you hanging and say, do this. Because yeah, you could say, here's a checklist of things that you need to get done. But I actually show you how to do it, and I take all of the guesswork out of it. Here's how we do that. We start out with actually a 65 page 30-day launch guide. And what and what I do in the launch guide is I have videos that go side by side with the videos go side by side with the launch guide. So you never have any guesswork of how you go about it. And I elaborate on it. I give you a lot of examples and all of those other kinds of things. There's also a lot of bonus videos that go along with this training as well, which includes search engine optimization, what I show you with SEO, and how to get on Google fast and how to rank yourself really quickly. That alone is what people are charging thousands of dollars for making a website search engine friendly. But I have a lot of done for you templates. I have checklists. I have coaching agreements. I have group coaching agreements. I have all of those things already done for you inside of the program. We start off the program by helping you get clear about who your ideal client is and to choose a coaching niche and to start creating your first coaching offer. And then we also give you a launch strategy. We show you how to build out a lead magnet. This is one of those things that you can get people onboarded, start to build a relationship with them through an email list or whatever. We show you how to build a lead magnet that's really, really effective. We also show you how to create 3 different coaching offers. Now, a lot of times what coaches are thinking about is that everything's about one-on-one clients. And I would say, well, you're undercutting your ability to make wealth, and you're going to mess up your work-life balance as a coach. What you really need to be able to do is to have multiple streams of income, which really puts you in a position of making money, but also not burning yourself out. And so I show you 3 different offers. There's an easy yes offer that makes it a no-brainer for people to work with you. And then there's a mid-tier offer that's a little bit more expensive. And then there's VIP, which I really believe is your one-on-ones. We show you how to craft those particular offers and programs that you'll be offering inside of your business. We show you everything that's included in a high converting website. We show you a wireframe. We give you a lot of examples, and you'll know exactly how to build out a website that clients will actually respond to. We give you a lot of email writing tools. Our coaches who have gone through this part of the training are getting open rates. So people are actually opening their emails at rates of like 60, 70, 80%. And that's unheard of in our industry. The industry average is going to be probably around 20%, but we're really good at what we do. And so we show our clients, and we take all the guesswork again out of doing this. We give you a launch planner. There's tons of bonus tools and videos. We also give you the course, The Essential Guide to Group Coaching. I talk a lot about group coaching because it's an easy way that you can create a a mid-tier or a low-risk offer for people to begin to work with you. And coaches who are working in this particular way with clients are starting out at about $500 an hour when they are doing group coaching. We show you how to do that, and we show you the steps of how to create a group coaching program. We have our own guide for the group coaching program, our own coaching agreement that's for that, and I go step by step. This course, we're giving you the Essential Guide to Group Coaching for free. It's normally $1,500. That includes group coach training videos as well as a program creation guide. And that's not all. We have a fast track community. It'll be right inside of your desktop. It's kind of like having a Facebook group but it's only coaches who are part of this program. There's already, I don't know, 200 something people in there right now so that you can connect with other coaches, build relationships with them. You can also join our monthly hot seats. We're going to be recording one this week. And what do we do is that we grab a hold of your burning questions, and me and our success coach, Joan, who's also working as a coach mentor with you guys in this program. We will answer any of your burning questions. It'll help you stay accountable inside of the program because you can always get feedback on what you're working with and just have that support, have another layer of relationship. This program should be selling for about $4,500. We're giving it to you for only $195. And yes, there is a payment plan, but out of pocket, it's only $195. If I was going to make a big recommendation to you, for those of you who have not gotten trained and certified yet, you can bundle it and save 30%, which is $100 off by bundling the Life Coach Certification course and getting 30-day coaching fast track. You'll get both programs for an entire year, and renewal is only $29. Our Life Coach Certification course is completely self-paced. Now, we do have Tuesday night coach training that you're always invited to every week. Every about 4 weeks, we have practice nights so that you guys practice, and then we watch you, we give you feedback. But here's the seven core sessions of the Life Coach Certification course. We start out with foundations of coaching. We help you understand what coaching is versus other helping roles. Then in session 2, we show you a coaching session, and I unpack the nuts and bolts of what is actually involved in a dynamic coaching session. And we conclude it by giving you 2 coaching models. Sessions 3 and 4 is all about how to listen on a transformational level, getting your biases out of the way, and what should you be listening for in a coaching session. We go from there to how to ask powerful questions, and then how to help your clients get extraordinary results. We give you the core understanding and tools of how you actually help your clients set goals and accountability. Finishing it up, we talk about how to establish a growing coaching practice. I show you how 6-figure coaches do it. Take this, and we make it where we show you the secret sauce inside of this course. This includes live practice with feedback that we do about every 3 and 4 weeks. And then every week, I also ask and answer any of your live Q&A questions specifically about coaching. The Life Coach Certification course is 30 hours of training that includes your live calls, Q&As, and role playing, coach connection. It also includes your onboarding documents. You're not going to have to spend hundreds of dollars or $100 developing them. We give you that, coaching agreements and everything else, and you can edit it, brand it, change the color schemes, change the imagery, whatever. We also give you the coaching tool starter pack. It's 6 tools to jumpstart transformation with your clients. You're also going to get a free listing on our top Google ranked lifecoachmatch.com. And of course, you're going to get your certificate. It's a $3,500 value. It's going to help you grow into coaching mastery, give you the credibility that you want, help you live into purpose, but we're not going to give you debt. That's one thing that we can say that all the other programs do, leave you in a lot of debt. And we're committed to making this debt free and you actually being able to pay off your certification training with your first client. We're sales commission free, which is saving you thousands of dollars. So I highly encourage you to get enrolled in that. Whoops. Oh, now you see the uglies. You see all of the other stuff. Well, listen, folks, let me see if I need to say hello to anybody really quick. No, we're good. So here's what we're going to do. I want you to jump inside the description of this video, get enrolled. It'll take you about 90 seconds to get enrolled. You can join us tomorrow night for Tuesday Night Coach Training or instantly start the self-paced course. Again, it'll only take you about 90 seconds to get enrolled. We're going to put this video on replay. So I appreciate you guys all immensely. Have a great rest of your week and take care.